Senate will come to order. Mr. Carpenter, please call the roll.
Senators Aguilar, Baumgardner, Cook, Quorum, Court, Crowder, Donovan, Finberg, Fields, Garcia, Gardner, Guzman, Hill, Holbert, John, Jones, Kagan, Gafalis, Kerr, Lambert, Lumberg, Marble, Martinez-Humenic, Merrifield, Moreno, Neville, Priola, Scott, Smallwood, Sonnenberg, Tate, Todd, Williams, Zinzinger. Mr. President.
Here. The morning roll call is all in our places with bright, shiny faces. 35 present, 0 absent, 0 excused. We have a quorum. Senator Court, please come and lead us in the pledge.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, guests, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Approval of the journal. Senator Zinzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the reading of the journal of April the 5th be dispensed with, and that we approve the journal as corrected by the Secretary.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Seeing none, the motion is adopted. Committee reports.
April 5th, 2017, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration of the Mayor's Committee recommends the following: House Bill 1224 be referred to Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 5th, 2017, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration of the Mayor's Committee recommends the following: House Bill 1106 be referred favorably to the Committee on Appropriations.
Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Bill 285, 286, and 287. Correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 222, 223, 224, 225, 226, 227, and 228. Senate Joint Memorial 3. Correctly re-engrossed, Senate Bill 247. Correctly enrolled, Senate Bill 108, 115, 139, 189. Senate Joint Resolution 24 and 28.
Third reading of bills, consent calendar. Mr. Carpenter, please read the titles to all the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar.
Senate Bill 222 by Senators Cook and Representative Willett concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to fireworks from Title 12 Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12. Senate Bill 223 by Senator Gardner and Representative Harrod concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to the treatment of human bodies after death from Title 12 Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12. Senate Bill 224 by Senator Kagan and Representative Lee concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to commercial driving schools from Title 12 of the Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12. Senate Bill 225 by Senator Cook and Representative Willett concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to farm products from Title 12 of the Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12. Senate Bill 226 by Senator Kagan and Representative Foote concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to regulation of financial institutions from Title 12 Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12. Senate Bill 227 by Senator Gardner and Representative Foote concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to attorneys of law from Title 12 Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12. Senate Bill 228 by Senator Gardner and Representative Wisk concerning the non-substantive relocation of laws related to licenses granted by local governments from Title 12 Colorado Revised Statutes as part of the organizational recodification of Title 12.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move all the bills on third reading of bills, final passage, consent calendar consisting of Senate bills 222, 223, 224, 225, 226, 227, and Senate Bill 228.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills on the consent calendar? The motion is for the adoption of all the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes on any of the bills? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 222 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Senator Lambert. Senator Tate. Senator Crowder. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 223 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Lambert, Senator Crowder. Any 17 Cs on this one? Is that a 17C or a co-sponsor? Co-sponsor, Senator Martinez-Humenick. Senator Sonnenberg, were you a co-sponsor? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 224 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Crowder. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 225 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Crowder, Senator Scott, Senator Tate, Senator Martinez-Humenick, with a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 226 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Crowder, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Tate, with a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 227 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Crowder, Senator Lambert, Senator Tate, Senator Martinez-Humenick. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 228 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Crowder, Senator Baumgardner, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Tate, Senator Lambert, Senator Kafalas, thank you. All right, let's do that. Mr. Carpenter, committee reports.
April 5th, 2017, Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1189 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. April 5th, 2017, Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 280 be referred favorably to the Committee on Appropriations. April 5th, 2017, Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 249 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. April 5th, 2017, Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1201 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Seriously? That's as slow as you could do it? Majority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate proceed out of order for consideration of House amendments to Senate bills.
The motion is to proceed out of order for consideration of House amendments to Senate bills. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we'll proceed out of order for consideration of House amendments to Senate bills. Consideration of House amendments to Senate bills. Mr. Carpenter, please read the title of the Senate Bill 213.
Senate Bill 213 by Senator Hill and Moreno and Representatives Winter and Bridges, concerning authorization for automated driving systems to control motor vehicles throughout Colorado.
Thoughts for your thoughts. Majority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over Senate Bill 213 until Friday, April 14th.
The motion is to lay over Senate Bill 213 until Friday, April 14th. Division has been called.
Oh, there we go.
Well, all those in the chamber not entitled to vote, please take a seat. All those in favor of the motion to lay over Senate Bill 213, please stand. You are absolutely right. Mr. Majority Leader, we are not going to be here on April 14th. We may need to move that. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I withdraw my motion.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we lay over Senate Bill 213 until Thursday, April 13th.
Thank you. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I see that we have guests here. They look like healthy kids, so maybe we'll get back into our normal pace.
There we go.
The sponsor has clarified his interest in Senate Bill 213. I withdraw the prior motion and move that we lay over Senate Bill 213 to tomorrow, Friday, April 7th.
Excellent. Third time's the charm. The motion is to lay over Senate Bill 213 until tomorrow, April 7th. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that will be laid over. Mr. Carpenter, please read the title of Senate Bill 51.
Senate Bill 51 by Senators Field and Gardner and Representatives Foote and Lawrence concerning the rights of crime victims.
Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Some duties are far more painful than others, and so I have the painful duty of moving that the House or that the Senate concur in House amendments and to grudgingly accept that perhaps they did some things that were actually substantive and worthwhile. And let me tell you what they are with your permission, Mr. President.
Please, Senator Gardner.
So Senate Bill 51, which is the Victims' Rights Act bill, did pass the House unanimously. There were a series of amendments making technical changes, putting in the words parole in front of board because that wasn't there, so it now says parole board, which was the intention. It replaced the term convicted. That term convicted was replaced with the word adjudicated. So those of you who are lawyers will understand that adjudicated is different than convicted. You might be adjudicated and not convicted. And a technical amendment to clarify that the parole board cannot commute or pardon someone. I don't know why that even would have been a question in the Victims' Rights Act bill, but it satisfied someone over in the House, and as we know, it was going to take them 100 amendments on the long bill to be satisfied. Those are the amendments. They are largely technical in nature and would ask for your concurrence.
Is there any discussion? The motion is that the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 51. Are there any no votes on concurrence? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the motion is adopted. Senator Gardner.
And thank you, Mr. President. I move for the readoption of Senate Bill 51.
The motion is for the repassage of Senate Bill 51. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 51 is readopted. Co-sponsors. You're on.
Or it could be read right now. Is it here? Yeah. Oh. So it has to go somewhere. I think so. What is this? This is a memorial honoring Joe Shepard. Yeah. I'm just trying to make it public sooner rather than the day of. That's all. Oh, and there was something about a man.
Principal McDonald.
That's right.
Why'd they move him over there? Why'd they move him over there? That doesn't make sense.
Consideration resolutions. Mr. Carpenter, would you please read the title of the Senate Joint Resolution 29?
Senate Joint Resolution 29 by Senators Tate and Fields and Representatives Wist and Buckner concerning the designation of May 2nd, 2017 as Children's Health Day in Colorado.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move this resolution, SJR 17029, and ask that it be read at length.
Mr. Carpenter.
Senate Joint Resolution 29 by Senators Tate and Fields and Representatives Wist and Buckner concerning the designation of May 2nd, 2017 as Children's Health Day in Colorado. Whereas, good health lays the groundwork for success in many areas of a child's life. And whereas, when children are healthy, physically, mentally, and socially, they are more likely to enter school ready to learn. They miss fewer days of school, and they have the energy and focus to pay attention in the classroom. And whereas the World Health Organization recommends that children should eat no more than 24 grams or 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day, but children are eating an average of 76 grams of sugar, 19 teaspoons per day, leading to 1 in 3 children now having diabetes. And whereas in 2014, about 1 in 4 Colorado children was estimated to be overweight or obese. And whereas 2 of 3 children exercise 20 minutes or less, 4 times or fewer per week, nowhere near the recommended 1 hour per day of exercise for all children. And whereas there is a link between a lack of consumption of fresh produce and lean meats and obesity, and access to such food is often limited in rural areas. And whereas low cost and convenient foods tend to be more highly processed and calorie dense than more expensive foods and may not provide children with the vitamins and nutrients their brains and bodies need to develop healthily. And whereas on average between 2010 and 2012, 35% of Colorado families with children between the ages of 1 and 14 reported that they often or sometimes relied on low-cost foods to feed their families due to limited resources. And whereas ensuring that all children have knowledge of and access to adequate healthy foods and safe places to exercise and play is essential to ending both malnutrition and obesity in Colorado's children. And whereas between 2012 and 2014, 229,000 children ages 2 to 14 were overweight or obese, and 41,000 high school students were obese. And whereas Governor John W. Hickenlooper stated on March 24, 2014, that there is nothing more important to Colorado's future than the success of our children and our ability to capitalize on the opportunities of our future workforce leaders, parents, and citizens. And whereas, according to the 2016 Colorado Health Report Card, the health grade of Colorado's children has improved from 24th to 22nd in the nation, their highest grade in the 10-year history of the Colorado Health Report Card. And whereas, 5th grade children of Indian Ridge Elementary of the Cherry Creek School District, in partnership with the Living Closer Foundation, have visited the legislature in 2015 and 2016 to promote children's health, including proper nutrition and a healthy diet, help all Colorado kids to be Fat That kids by providing nutrition education in schools, which includes scientific knowledge of the adverse effects of excessive sugar consumption on the human body, and using the student-initiated Fat That program best practices, which include drinking water, eating real food while limiting processed and junk food, and playing outside every day, and promote a recommended daily allowance of sugar. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 71st General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the General Assembly, support the promotion of health for Colorado children by designating May 2nd, 2017 as Children's Health Day. Believe that providing children in childcare, school, and community settings with nutritious foods and plenty of opportunities for exercise are important steps to giving children a healthy start in life, and encourage schools, health professionals, and organizations to design activities and educational programs on Children's Health Day that meet the needs of individual communities. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to Bill Yeager, Vice President, the Colorado Children's Campaign, Dr. Jondal T. Allen Davis, Vice President of Government, External Relations and Research, Kaiser Permanente, Ellen Steiner, Policy Coordinator at Colorado Children's Hospital, Dr. Richard J. Johnson, Professor in the Department of Medicine at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus, Dr. Stephen R. Daniels, Chairman of the Department of Pediatrics at the University of Colorado School of Medicine, Children's Hospital, Colorado, Ginny Brunden, Education Reporter at the Colorado Public Radio, the Colorado Innovation Network, a division of the Colorado Office of Economic Development and International Trade, Governor John Hickenlooper, Sue Glass, Executive Director, American Diabetes Association, the Living Closer Foundation, and Leslie Levine, Technical Assistance and Research Coordinator at LiveWell, Colorado.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President. My dear President, thank you so very much for allowing us to share this resolution. Members, please be seated. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome my favorite guests. They have joined me down here under the dome for 3 straight years, and I'm so proud of the movement that you have created to ensure that every child, every kid has not only a fresh start, a safe start, but a healthy start. So I want to thank the principal who is here from Indian Ridge, Principal McDonald, the Living Closer Foundation, for all of your work that you've done. Indian Ridge is in Cherry Creek School District, and what they've done has been amazing. They have a school garden there, and the kids grow fresh fruits and vegetables, and they offer them as a part of their lunch program. They're just doing a lot of things to make sure that the kids keep moving. They're exercising, they're drinking water, they're trying to reduce their intake of sugar. And so I can't be more proud of all the things that you've done, not just for your class, but for your whole entire school. I'm just so happy to have each and every one of you here. Members, we have 100 kids here today. The other 50 are over in the House, and we're going to be passing this resolution over to them after we're done. Thank you.
Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, kids. And members, I should explain also that Indian Ridge Elementary School is near and dear to my heart because it's in my neighborhood, and some of my neighbors and friends are here today. Children here that went to school with my son. Indian Ridge is a great school. My son is a very, very happy kid, got a great education. He's a special needs kid, and Indian Ridge really, just really was really important to our family and important to how well my son's doing. So Indian Ridge is special to me, and I'm very proud of all the work these kids do and being active in civic life at a very young age. And welcome to the Capitol, kids. Maybe we'll see some of y'all this summer in the neighborhood, but thank you so much for coming down and joining us here at the Capitol to make health a priority issue for us all. And it's not just for children, of course. It's also a germane message to us grown-ups as well. Welcome, and thank you for coming, and congratulations on all your hard work.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to request a moment of personal privilege so that we can have the kids stand and acknowledge their hard work and their accomplishments.
Why don't we allow the other senators to speak, and then we'll go to the personal privilege. Senator Todd.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues, and welcome to the Capitol. A great day to be out of the classroom and moving and active here at the Capitol, so we're thrilled to have you with us. A couple of years ago when you came to the Capitol, and maybe some of you and maybe some of your brothers and sisters actually made your presentation, and it was very impressive then. It continues to be very impressive. And one of the things that I want to really focus on in terms of not only eating right, but I think the whole activity. Yesterday we had one of our fellow senators come up here and kick up his foot and say, "Get walking and wear your tennis shoes." And getting moving is one of the most important parts. If we can be proactive, we can keep health care costs down. If we can make sure that we are healthy with what we eat and how we exercise, we can keep health care costs down. It's not rocket science. It is pretty important in terms of the role model that you young people are doing for us. And so when we look at what most of our children get every day, maybe 20 minutes, a little bit of exercise if they go out for recess, but our quality physical education programs in the state of Colorado are absolutely essential. And so I'm quite sure that your PE teacher is very much a part of the equation, and I congratulate you. I thank you for being with us today. And on just kind of a personal note, my today 10-year-old granddaughter, Hannah, is very active with dance and with running and track and all of those things because it's a natural part. Do it when you're young and make it a habit, because when you get a little older, you see how many of us are sitting in our cushy chairs. That's not good for our muscles. And so we have to figure out different ways to either take the stairs or walk around, walk across the street to get moving. But getting moving is one of the key components of healthy children and healthy adults. So again, congratulations, and I highly support and endorse this resolution. Thanks for taking your time and being with us today. So everybody, arms up and down.
Senator Coram.
Thank you, Mr. President. I thank the sponsors for bringing this bill forward, but I do have one exception to something that's in the bill. When we're talking about healthy food for rural Colorado is not available, that is absolutely incorrect. Members, in our community, we live off the farm. We produce more healthy food than you can buy in the store because it's fresh. As far as exercise go, you want an hour of exercise? Try 6 hours of chores. You know, I got to tell you, I don't know if you realize this, but we actually have running water, we have electricity, we have television. We have a lot of things in rural Colorado, and I'm proud of rural Colorado.
Senator Martinez-Humenick.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too rise in support of this Joint Resolution 29. Thanks to all the young kids who have gotten very active. That's part of the reason that I went into teaching to begin with, was because I wanted kids to be physically active and like physical education. And today, too many kids spend too much time with their cell phones or on tablets or in front of the TV playing games. And there's so much to do outside, riding your bikes, riding a scooter, or the like little razors that are skateboards. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. When I was in school, we had the Presidential Physical Fitness Awards that were given out in our schools. I would like to issue a challenge to all the kids here. Let's start Colorado in the right direction this year and have the kids ask their principals and their superintendents and their school boards to get back into Colorado physical fitness and have some competition with our schools on how healthy our kids can be. This is a great way to get in good shape for your field days, and it's also a fun way to get exercise. So I'm issuing that challenge to all the kids here today. Let's see if we can't reinstate something like the Presidential Physical Fitness Award, but maybe call it something else specifically for Colorado kids. So thank you, and I urge your support of this Senate Joint Resolution.
Senator Kafalis.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I also rise in support of this resolution. It's wonderful to see the children here with all the amazing colored T-shirts here on the Senate floor and up in the gallery. It's always wonderful when you bless us with your presence. Regarding the previous senator who extended a challenge to all of the children and to perhaps set up a competition regarding physical activity, I would respectfully extend that challenge to my fellow legislators who sit in their cushy chairs to try to do as much physical activity as they are able to do. One recommendation is to use the stairs rather than the elevator. Thank you.
Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. And Senator, I resemble that remark. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the resolution today and listening, and thank you for considering supporting the resolution. Ultimately, this is kind of a message for kids, but you know, the key thing about healthy foods or anything in healthy, it all comes down to choice. Your kids have to make those choices. No one else can make those choices for you. It's a lesson I think about all the time for myself. But even with all the information provided to you, all the choices provided to you, whether it be how you eat, what you eat, where you eat, and what you do with yourself, it all comes down to choice. You have to choose it for yourself. And the easiest way to make choices later in life that are beneficial is to start making them when you're younger. It becomes a good habit. Urge an aye vote to the resolution. Thank you, everyone.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Joint Resolution 29? Seeing none, the motion for the body is the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 29. Are there any no votes? With the vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Joint Resolution 29 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the current roll call be used as co-sponsors. If that's the right motion.
That is correct enough. Without objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Now, Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to request a personal moment of privilege.
Granted.
Don't need to do that. Kids, children from Indian Ridge, I'd like to take this opportunity to announce some of the members that are part of the leadership team behind the Living Closer Foundation. I'm just going to ask them to stand because I know I cannot say their name.
Have them stand.
Could you please stand? The Living Closer Foundation members. Thank you so very much for your leadership. And I know we have a doctor here from the Children's Hospital. We also have the principal from Indian Ridge. And then all the kids, please stand. Thank you. Remember to drink water as much as you can. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Introduction of memorials. Mr. Carpenter, would you please read the title of the Senate Joint Memorial 4?
Senate Joint Memorial 4 by Senator Lundberg and Representative Sias, memorializing former Senator Joseph Shefflin.
Majority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we lay over Senate Joint Memorial 4 until April 12th.
The motion is to lay over Senate Joint Memorial 4 until April 12. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that will be laid over till April 12. Committee reports.
April 5th, 2017, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 284 be referred favorably to the Committee on Appropriations. April 5th, 2017, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1177 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. Recommendation may be placed on the consent calendar. April 5th, 2017, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1186 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 5th, 2017, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1188 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 12th, 2017, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1214 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, after consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 103 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1012 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, after Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1027 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1070 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the merits, Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1120 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1221 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the merits, the Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 2 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 180 be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 3 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 28 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the Mayor's Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 39 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 75 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 91 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 126 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 186 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to the committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 188 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 198 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 192 be amended as follows. As so amended, be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 199 be postponed indefinitely. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 201 be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 202 be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 208 be postponed indefinitely. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the mayor's committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 212 be referred to committee of the whole. The favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 243 be referred to committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation. April 6, 2017, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 248 be postponed indefinitely.
Well, that took long enough. Signing of bills.
The President has signed Senate Bill 36. The President has signed Senate Joint Memorial 3, Senate Joint Resolution 26.
Announcements. Senator Todd and Senator Martinez-Humenick.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I know that amongst all of the papers that we get on our floor, on our desks, maybe it goes on the floor. But today there's the third annual Colorado Lunch and Learn, and this is an opportunity to hear from doctors and medical researchers from Regis, as well as Anschutz Medical Campus. We urge you to join us today. There are going to be some enlightening pieces of information about research that is being done right here in the great state of Colorado.
So some of the topics today are alcohol, aging, and immunity, multiple sclerosis, opioid misuse and abuse, and addressing the epidemic through a multi-pronged approach. And it's today from 12 to 1:30 in Senate Committee Room 356. So we hope to see all of you there.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Senator Kerr and Senator Corum.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, members, an announcement for you. If you could look up here, please. You might notice something about the two of us. We, the good senator from the Western Slope and I have both decided to wear our Colorado tartan ties today, and it's not completely by accident.
I sent a memo to him mentally, and he grabbed it. So from now on, the good senator will be voting exactly as I do. This is the key.
And for those of you who would like to continue celebrating Colorado Tartan Day, there is the Colorado Tartan Day Festival this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, April 8th and 9th, at the Boulder County Fairgrounds in Longmont, Colorado, 9 to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Admission is free to the public. So we would love to see you there, and please wear your Colorado tartans when you do.
Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also refer to this as Pat Worley Day under the dome because Pat was always our little redhead over at the House of Representatives, and she actually handmade these ties, and we're very proud to wear them. You know, this goes back to 1320, so it's something new. There has been resolution in Colorado, and you know, maybe it's something we should consider next year because we have our own Scott that has apparently left the building, but we will, you know, great Scott. Thank you.
Senator Kafalis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking of ties, just a reminder that tomorrow, Friday, April 7th, is National Wear Blue Day, and this is to continue to acknowledge Child Abuse Prevention Month. So if you can wear blue tomorrow, perhaps a blue tie, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I want to thank you for your understanding. My 94-year-old father, who lives with me, fell on Monday, and on Tuesday was having more trouble walking, and it turns out he fractured a vertebra in his spine, and unfortunately he's having trouble transferring out of bed, and so this is a huge decline in independence for him. We did bring him home yesterday, and we're taking it day by day, but thank you for your understanding, and hopefully he'll stabilize or maybe even get better, so thanks.
Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. And members, let's not forget that tomorrow is opening day for the Rockies, so I would encourage you to also wear purple. Maybe it's blue and purple day tomorrow. Go Rockies.
And since it's a Friday, Senator Quorum would encourage us to wear red. So red, purple, and blue. Any other announcements? Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, we now have 34 days left in the session. 23 of those are working days. I don't have a total of bills, but yesterday I mentioned 324 still active. I think we have a couple more coming online between the House and the Senate, so that number may have actually gone up. Committee chairs, if you could please schedule as heavy as possible. If you have an extra bill or two you can slide into a calendar for a committee hearing next week or the week following, that would be a good idea. We are going to get into serious crunch time, and we need to move those bills through and get them on the floor. We also need to allow public testimony and all, so we need to let the process run its course. But anything you can do to expedite the movement of bills would be greatly appreciated, I think, by all once we get down to that last week. The bills that were in Appropriations Committee this morning, I've had several questions about when we will hear those bills. The earliest those bills would actually show up on our calendar would be for Monday. Some of those bills that passed out of the appropriations this morning were unanimous and were moved to the consent calendar. So it would be my intention tomorrow to potentially move the second reading consent calendar from Monday into tomorrow so that we can move those bills on. If you see any bills on there that you don't want on the consent calendar, please come to me as early as possible, either today or tomorrow, and we will, of course, remove those. Would ask that you let the bill sponsors know, just so they have a heads up if they're not planning on second reading debate. And if you want a bill off, it's always a good courtesy to let the sponsor know. With that, Mr. President, I move that the Senate adjourn until 9 a.m. Thursday, April 7th, 2017.
Mr. Majority Leader, could Senator Scott have a brief moment before we vote on
As
that?
is so often the case, I will withdraw my motion.
Senator Scott.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to let the committee members on the Select Energy and Environment Committee to know that we will be meeting at 10:30 in room 355.
Senator Marble.
Thank you, Mr. President. State affairs. Listen up. We've got a lot of bills on Monday. It's not just the one. What is scheduled is House Bill 1155, House Bill 1223, House Bill 1150, House Bill 1113, and House Bill 1175. Thank you.
Senator Martinez-Humenick.
Thank you, Mr. President. And members, Senate local government will meet upon adjournment in Senate Committee Room 354, and we'll be hearing Senate Bill 17279.
Anyone else? Majority Leader Holbert.
Thank you again, Mr. President. I move the Senate adjourn until 9 a.m. Friday, April 7th.
Motion is for the Senate to adjourn until 9 a.m. April 7th. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we will be adjourned.